hacer. Mira a ver por dónde se aprieta esto. Ahora búscalo acá. Don't do that.
Okay.
There's nothing there.
There's water there.
No hay nadie, Cairo. Oh yeah. Hi. We're setting up here because I really want to know whether or not we'll be able to do this. But yeah, hopefully we will. How are you? Hello, welcome. Still setting up. It's been a while since I've done a live, so hopefully this is going to work. Yeah, that's the one. Can you see the chat?
Live chat.
Okay, perfect. Can you open that up so I can see whether or not everybody can see this? I don't know if it's cut off or what. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Hi.
You can see the chat now.
Yeah. That's great. I can see it there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Berries. I am Terry, and I am in Texas. I've been traveling, and I decided to go live because I haven't been able to actually do a video. I also don't have anything with me to be able to do any editing, so I decided to go live. And so this is very non-prepared, but very spontaneous, but we're going to make it work. So hopefully you can get your materials and paint with me. I did bring with me these two travel brushes. I've never used them, so we'll see them together at work. And I did pack all these little things, but basically I have the normal materials that I use at home. And those are Posca pens, which is basically what I think I will be using for this one. I also have my sister's kit that I gave her for her to start out with watercolor. So I will be using the White Nights colors. And also, I was thinking of showing you this Daniel Smith Thomas Schaller's Master Artist set, which I got while I was here. And I don't know if we should look at this or just go ahead and paint, but I will probably paint with this and the White Nights because it's what I have at the moment. So these brushes are, this is an Escoda Ultimo, size number 6. So you can see, never being used. And the other one is also a Skoda Ultimo number 4. So I think we're going to use this color, brushes because I've never used them and I want to try them. But I did send my sister a couple of brushes, and these are a Princeton Heritage number 12. I also have here the Princeton Heritage number 2, which I will use for any details. And I also have a couple of flat brushes here that I also sent my sister. And these are Artify flat brush, 1/2 and 3/8. So if you hear, I mean, I'm painting outside, you can probably hear a lot of noise. The pool is there with whatever it's doing, but it has a really nice sound, and there's a lot of planes going by, so that's going to be all the noise in the background. I really do hope that you can see everything. Oh, and I didn't mention this one is an Artist Loft. I think this is the brand for Michaels. So that one is that one. And the last one that we've got is another number 6 from Princeton Heritage. So we'll see what we are going to be using as we go along. But if you want to do this with me, it would be really great to keep me company doing this. So I hope you can. So if you want to let me know you're there, I've got 4 people, and that's absolutely amazing and great because I thought I was going to be doing this on my own. So if you want to say hi in the chat, you can do that. And I'll be explaining everything that we're going to be doing as we go. I hope everything is looking great, and I also hope that you can see everything clearly. At least that's my hope. So I've also got some paper towel right here, and I did cover my paper with the frog tape that I usually use. And to start with, I am going to wet this large brush. This is a number 12. And what I'm going to do is just add water in certain areas, but I'm going to try to keep other areas dry. And I am painting outside, so this should be interesting to watch because I never paint outside the house, so I will have to be a little bit fast in order to get this going. I think I want to start with a red ochre. I'm going to try to keep this very earthy looking. So with this one, I have not planned anything at all. So this is it's going to be a very spontaneous abstract. And the idea with abstraction, this type of abstraction, is precisely not to overthink and just allow the paint to do what it needs to do. I will be adding a little bit of yellow ochre here so it can blend. Hello to all the new people coming in. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy this completely spontaneous session that I'm trying to do here. We're painting abstract watercolor, and we're gonna see what's going to happen, okay? So we're going to soften a little bit. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we can get here. searching for things. So, okay, so what I'm going to do now is just have some lines going to also have an extra layer. And I'm gonna just go for it through it. We'll see if we add more lines after a while, but for now, that's all I want to do. And so let's try the Escoda brush right now and see what happens. This one is English red. So now that the water has dried, we're going to see less movement. So the color isn't traveling as far as it would, like for example here where I have a little puddle. Maybe. Very pigmented, this colors from White Nights. So I didn't really pre-wet this area right here, but should be fine. And so I expect this is going to be drying rather quickly, so I'm trying to move a little bit faster than normal. Now I'm just dragging a little bit of that color. To create what I would call a little wash. So when you're using graphite or your pencils, do remember that it can move when you add water over it. So just try to place the water gently over it so you can seal it a little bit. And if you still have a puddle, you can always move it around. It should give it a nice what was I saying? A softer edge instead of a harder edge. Although hard edges are not bad, just say. So here I am creating a bloom because this is almost dry. And basically it's almost removing in that area, but that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I hope everybody's fine. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, maybe Maybe I'm going to use Mars Brown over here. And these lines were not really thought over. They are quite spontaneous as well. So if you're doing something like this with me or along, just whatever you're getting, it's going to be fine. Just follow along and let's see what we get today. So as you can see, this is non-objective abstraction. So there's nothing here that should resemble anything in particular. So I'm adding a little bit more water here so we don't create too many hard edges. And if we get blooms, not to worry. That's part of watercolors. And sometimes we can get really good results with those. I'm going to go back to that yellow ochre. And I'm just dropping the color in and waiting to see what happens. There's a lot of birds here, if you can hear those. And it's been quite lovely to be here. Lots of wildlife in terms of birds, and we had a duck flying into the pool and he got a really nice swim there. So yeah, it's been really nice to be here. And the reason why I'm here is that my sister is having a vacation that she is so deserving of. And she asked me if I could come and babysit her 3 cats. And so here I am. So it's also a little vacation for me as well. So this one here is Mars Brown by White Nights. I really like this color. Was it, or was it sepia? I'm not even sure now. So do you do abstract watercolors as well? Is that your preferred watercolor? Hello, Making Living Art. Hi, welcome. So if you guys want to let me know where are you from, that would be great. Yes, this is sepia and this is the Mars Brown that I'm doing a second coat of. Okay. Let's see. So I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit, but I think I might need a little bit more sepia here, so I am going to add that now. I'm very impatient with watercolors coming from my acrylic practice, but I find this so amazing to do that really it's something that I truly, truly enjoy. There you go. Okay. So now I'm pre-wetting this area right here. And I think I am using that Mars brown here. Okay, so let's allow this to dry a little extra before continuing on. I always say that and end up doing something. Uh, like I contradict myself all the time. I find that very annoying about myself. But you end up looking at things and you go like, okay, I need this here, I need this there before I leave this to dry. Let's try this color here. This one that I'm adding is raw sienna. Right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and allow this to dry. And while I allow this to dry, I'm going to leave this raw edges there. It does look good. So if you want to say hello, I would love to know who's here with me. Well, this is drying a little bit. I know Making Living Art is here, so thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I don't do many lives because number one, I get really frustrated most times because I do stumble into my own words because English is my second language. So that's always a concern for me. Oh my God, Australia. Hello. Is it day or night, Maurizia? Oh, wow, that's early. Right now, here is about 3 p.m. So you're up early. Which part of Australia are you at? Oh, I'm glad I said it correctly. I know my name is very hard to, I mean, it's Teresa, but in Spanish, it's Teresa. And a lot of people will just say Terry or Terry. Well, although I don't mind Terry, actually, that's what I use because it's easier to pronounce for many people, so I don't mind. Oh, Brisbane, nice. I have to go there. I have to. Someday I will. Someday it will happen. So, do you do this type of art, abstraction, is in watercolor, or is it something that you also do with other mediums? Oh, wow, Italian. My mom is Italian, so maybe that's why I said it. Um, yeah. I've been looking at properties in Italy lately. I don't know why, but really wanting to make the move over there, but at least to have something, a property over there where you can go and spend a little time, paint. Hello, Claire. Good morning from Queensland, Australia. Oh my God. Hello. I'm so excited. Queensland. Wow. I am so happy that you're new to watercolor because I am new to watercolor as well. Yes. About the feeling that art block, I recently made a video about the way I handle that. And it's precisely something like this, actually. And I don't like to start any abstract work without um, with a specific idea, because usually I'm going to get disappointed if I do. I like to be more spontaneous, particularly if I am blocked or have no ideas or feel a little bit without any inspiration. And what I do is just sit down and make a mess. And making messes is just fine, at least for me, because usually it will end up giving me a little bit of inspiration and I will get excited about what I'm doing and I will put a lot of effort into it. what I have found out is that when I am not doing anything at all, it becomes harder and harder to even get to work. For example, I've been here a couple of days, settling in, and of course, it has been a little bit feeling away from art, and at the same time, very close because I have it in my mind all the time. But when you get back, I have like all these ideas and then I cannot even pick. So what I decide is to not do anything in particular and just go for it and see what happens. Like this live, for example, is completely spontaneous. I did not have any idea of what I was going to do, not even that I was coming live today. And I hardly ever do lives because I am not very tech savvy. So, yeah. So it's scorching hot today. But at least I don't have studio lights going on, which makes the colors look a little bit different from what they really look like. And so it's drying at a faster pace because I'm outside and there's not so much control about what I'm doing here. Because of that drying time, it's a lot quicker at the moment, but that's okay as well. Have any of you tried painting outside, plein air, or in situ before? Because I've never done this. I've painted with my acrylics outside, but not some of the areas. Yes, I did. This area was wet first, and this area was not. And then I added water here, which created that bloom over there. And then I continued adding colors. And yeah, but this area right here, I don't think it was pre-wet or anything like that. The only first area here, but I am going to pre-wet some areas now because I think I want to allow this to flow on its own. And I don't have most of my tools, some of my tools that I usually use for this. So, yep, it's, we don't know what's going to happen here. But yeah, I like to see what happens with color once I lay it down on water and watch it flow, like now. I'm going to do, this is yellow ochre and umber. Sometimes I don't pre-wet the paper whatsoever. I really don't. Let me get a little bit of water. And let's see if this is going to come out right. There we go. I like that. Let's hope that dries correctly how I'm hoping it will dry. Um, So we're expecting thunderstorm here today. So we'll see what happens. So far, it's looking great. But the other night was very stormy and rather intense thundering. Okay. All right. So I'm adding here a second layer of the sepia just to intensify the color a little bit. It's still flat. This paper is a sketchbook. It's from, well, it's just a little tiny bit wobbly, but mostly it's flat. This is Bao and it is cold press. I love this sketchbook because of the texture. It's really nicely textured. It's really good. And generally, I do love the Bao paper. What's that fly? But my preferred go-to paper is Arches or Arch. But I try to get, I mean, I'm obsessed with getting different types of paper to see which ones are going to be really nice, finding paper that works well and is not that expensive, so budget-friendly materials. And so I have tried many brands. I do love, I don't think I have it here with me, but it's called Layton, and it's quite a very thick paper. I think it has 360 GSM. Yeah, 360 GSM. So it's a thicker paper. Yes, arches can be very expensive in some areas. And the paper right now is flat on the clear. The sketchbook is flat on the table. Oh, Fabriano is really nice. Fabriano, I tried. I think it was. Oh God, I have it at home, so I've only used it once, and it's really good. It's really good. I've also tried the Winsor & Newton 100% cotton, and that one is good. Although I do prefer the Bao one. And the Bao being, this is Academy grade, but it is 100% cotton, and it's quite inexpensive. I'm not sure in Australia how that would be. Oh, Fabriano closed over there. You mean in general, Fabriano closed? Oh, I did not know that. And nobody took over that you know of? Because usually some other company will take over manufacturing. Because I haven't seen any scarcity on their paper. But maybe they still have here in the States. I'm not sure. Wow, I'm stunned by those news because Fabriano has been quite a very well-known paper and company. Yeah, probably more than likely another manufacturer will take over because they do have a great following. I know a lot of artists that only use Fabriano paper, so that would be a shame to discontinue and people would go crazy. Yeah, yeah. So what I like about the Layton paper is that thickness that they have, and that one doesn't even buckle at all whatsoever. There was here in the United States an art store that was also like about 100 years, and it was called the New York Art Central, and all the artists would buy from them. But as you know, as corporate businesses started coming over, they started losing sales and they had to close. But I think it was Jerry's Artarama that decided to take over the paper part because their paper was so great and a lot of artists used them. And so they are still producing the paper. And I think with paper, once someone has familiarity and that's the only paper they use, it's very hard to change to another one. So I've seen that happen, and Jerry's Artarama, very hard to pronounce. It's a big chain store all over the United States, and they have kept the name for the paper as the New York Art Central simply because people would recognize that this is the paper they are using. And it's rather inexpensive. It's really good for both multimedia, uh, watercolor. It's 100% cotton. It's really good. And it's also very thick. You can get it in very high grams. So it's a very good paper. I did buy a couple of blocks of paper from them. There's a lot of people making their own paper nowadays as well, which I would love to do because it doesn't look like it is very difficult. But I don't think I would be very good at it, so that's why I haven't tried. Okay, so I'm getting a hard edge right here, but I don't mind it. So that's going to be just fine. And what else do I want to do here? I need this to dry. That's what I need for it to be doing at the moment. So I did not pre-wet this area right here. And this green is a mix of, I don't know how many colors, yellow ochre, the green from White Nights is PG8. I think it does have a little bit of sepia in it as well. So it's, well, it's a green, it's still a very earthy green. I'm pre-wetting here. And I am going to drop that green. So the trick with this type of abstract watercolor, I would think, or I would say, is just going through the motions, doing different techniques, and just allowing it to dry. And then we'll do other things to the paper. I've found that working with watercolor in an abstract way is a challenge for me because of the transparency of the colors in comparison to, for example, acrylics or even oils. Oils, I find that the challenge is more about the time needed for them to dry, and it can be a little bit of a challenge on that aspect. And now what we need to do is allow this to dry. And I don't want to come in this corner for the simple reason that this tape is actually opening up. But yeah, I could use, let's see. Oh, we could use maybe a little bit of this indigo here. And here. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this one as is for now, and all I am wanting right now is for it to finish drying, and then we're going to do a little bit of embellishment, although not too much. Actually, I do want to fix this area right here. Let's see if we can do that. So now we're giving a little bit of form to what we had. And a little contrast. So here I am trying to soften some of these edges. Don't you feel like when you're painting, you just simply get lost in your paint? I do that a lot, maybe too much. So it's almost ready to go to the second step, but we're going to continue wait for it to dry. I know it's boring waiting for it to dry, but since this is live, there is not much I can do. I cannot speed it up, and we'll have to wait. So, okay, I'm going to ask a few questions. So, what kind of colors do you enjoy best? What kind of watercolors do you use or prefer? I hope that's not going under the tape. Okay. In my acrylics, I do a lot of bold colors, although I tend to go to the earthy tones more often than not. But my palette is quite limited and possibly boring for a lot of people. I use cadmium, yellow medium, yellow light, yellow deep, depending on my mood. Phthalo blue. I use Payne's gray. I use cadmium reds, and from there I mostly mix everything. Of course, black and white. I use white, carbon black a lot. Um, let's see. I use ultramarine blue and cobalt blue, but I mostly use nowadays my Payne's gray as the blue. And then I have my range of my earth tones, which are raw sienna, burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, sepia, and quinacridone gold, nickel azo yellow, nickel azo gold. So those are the only colors I basically use. With watercolors, I just love them all. Making living art. I have 3 sets, Schminka, Daniel Smith, and White Nights. I buy them only when they are on special. Yes. Schminka I find incredibly expensive on this part of the world. I think for Europe, I'm not sure for Australia, but for Europe, they are more accessible. And it switches with Daniel Smith because I believe Daniel Smith is a little bit more expensive in Europe than it is here. But Daniel Smith is expensive. I just don't find it as expensive as Schminka. I do prefer the Daniel Smith colors overall, but I have tried Celerie and many others. And from the Schminka range, I absolutely love the super granulators. But the reason why I like, it's not saying that the colors from Schminka are not good, because I do like certain colors from Schminka, but there is something, I don't know whether, I recently purchased from Schminka, for example, the Naturals, and they are quite an interesting challenge. I made a video about that. Where I gave I gave a review originally, and then I started working with them to see if I could get something out of them, and you definitely can. But they are completely different, and for me in particular, I was expecting something more from Schminka. Of course, they are like an in-between between gouache and watercolor, and they are very streaky, so they are challenging. However, I did manage to create a few paintings with them, very interesting, and they didn't streak or anything at all. But even when you're swatching them, they are different. Obviously, they are 100% natural, so they don't have any animal products in them or anything like that. So, but I have tried brands that are natural based and even foraged materials, and they don't streak like that. So I don't know why those would streak, but personally, I find them really good to have, but they were super expensive, and I would never, ever spend for that collection that much money again, because it's for somebody who has the actual patience to really get to know the colors. Claire Turner says, I use mostly Daniel Smith, especially the granulated paints. Yes, which I love too. But I have recently purchased some A Gallo. Oh my God, I do have them. They are very nice, but also very expensive. And that is so very true. Super expensive, but they are so beautiful. A Gallo. I have the natural 24, the Naturale 24, and they are amazing. They recently started doing the tubes, which I would have preferred, but I guess I'll get them when I go through my little pans, because right now I just don't. The other one I want to try is oh my God. I had the name and just flew. It's another brand that, oh, Deep Light. And I do find those very, very expensive, but I also, what I've seen other YouTubers show when they swatch them is that they are rather beautiful and interesting and very creative colors. Like there is a color called prickly pear, and I've seen that one that you can get a range from greens with just one color, from yellows to greens to even browns in that one single color. And that for me is very impressive. And so that's, I'm saving up for that one. I'm saving up for that one for sure. So I find that very, very interesting when from one color you can get different hues. All right, let's see if we can continue here. It's mostly dry, but I was thinking of emphasizing this line here, which was the original pencil line that I had going. And now I'm going to go with a little bit of water. There we go. And so watercolors for me has been a really good escape from the medium that I normally use. As I mentioned, acrylics. I'm not using oils anymore because, well, I do use them, but very randomly, not really for a full-on oil painting because of my lungs. And so if I want to highlight something in an acrylic painting, I might go in with an oil stick and just go over whatever area. But mostly I am painting in acrylics. And what happened was that I was going through a very tough art block, and decided to switch to watercolors for a while. And I've been with watercolors for 2 years now. And suddenly, out of nowhere, I decided to start sketching for something that I was planning to do with watercolor. And when I saw the sketch, I was like, well, this really needs to be in large scale, in acrylics. And so I started it, and I was completely surprised because it's very based in my personal roots as an artist, and a complete reversal to my origins, to my origins, and then add to that 20 plus years of professional career experience. And so it just blew up. Like I I was completely taken aback. And so that was very surprising. I cannot wait to get back home and continue and finish that first painting, but I already have ideas for a full-on collection, and so I will probably be working towards a new exhibit. So I will share about that sometime, but right now I don't want to jinx it. So I'm keeping that one to myself for now. But I think having switched to watercolors allowed me to think differently with acrylics. And by the time I started working with acrylics again, it was quite interesting. All right, so this is a little bit wet, but this area right here, it's pretty much dry. I love here what happened there. I don't know if you can see, but it has a little texture there, which is interesting to me. Okay, so right now, let's take a look at what we have here. And I think I'm going to bring in my Copic. This is a brown 0.3. And this is a pigment ink. It's waterproof once it dries, and it's really a good brand. It's a multi-liner brown. So I'm just going to add a few details here and there. Oh, thank you. Very earthy, very earth tones, very toned down, but yeah, they came out nice. I was afraid to do the green, but I think it worked because it does have yellow ochre, and I use yellow ochre in some areas. All right, so are we ready for a black? And maybe white? Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see. All right, so what I'm thinking is to I usually do not like to embellish too much. What I usually do is just come with very strong marks. But I'm actually afraid. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling the pressure. Um, but I'm just going to go with tiny dots here. I, like I said, I really usually don't do this. Although a lot of people like it because of the watercolor creative abstract book by Rebecca Leach. And so I do try to embellish a little bit more than I would normally do. And that comes from my practice as an acrylic painter because I don't do embellishments like this. But I must admit that with watercolors, these type of embellishments can be rather awesome as well. Let's see. I'm waiting for I'm hoping that this is visible. So let me just check. Yes, okay. Um, okay. Do you embellish your watercolors when you're working with them? Or do you allow your abstractions to just stay as they are? This is the fun part. I think it's very good meditative process to just allow yourself to relax and just go with the flow. Oh, nice, Claire. Oh my God, there's a fly here. um, So let's see. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. You should try it. You should try it. I actually never do, but I've enjoyed this part as a moment to relax and just not have anything going in my mind. So embellishing for me, it's quite therapeutic. I mostly work with abstraction in my real professional art, but with watercolors I've expanded to a more figurative type of painting. So I really do enjoy now. I've expanded my possibilities and opened up my mind to other types of art. I am not very good with florals, I have to admit, but I'm trying because I actually do like it. I am also working with landscapes as well because again it's very good to practice with all types of styles and see what you do. Yes, you should just close your eyes and go for it. And when you when you start out without any expectations, just for the joy of painting something, even if you end up making a mess, like I cannot say this is a good painting because I didn't start this stream expecting anything at all. I just started painting and having fun with it. If we take away all the expectations, that's when the flow of ideas will come, and that will help you a lot. I would say. Okay, I think I don't want to do too much here. Although I am tempted to go over this space, but I think I'm going to leave it as is. So let's see what we have. And this is the exciting part when you take away the tape and you take a look at what you've got. That's when you start seeing whether or not more can come from whatever you've done. Again, without any expectations. And let me see if yeah, okay, let's see. Yeah, I think I have it right there. So I can see a lot of problems here, especially here in this corner. I should have had a better frame there. For example, like here and here and here. Like I could have done maybe a glaze over that section. But I've taken the tape now, so it doesn't matter. But it's not a bad try. I don't think the result is that bad at all. So what do you think? Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I thought I was going to be here on my own. And all the people who have been here today, thank you so much for keeping me company while I did this. Claire, thank you. Maurizia, thank you. So I might do another live if I can before the end of the week, but I'm not sure, depending on the weather, because again, I think it's starting to turn a little bit grayish today, but I do want to probably do this set of colors, do a swatch, or maybe another painting. And this one has French ochre, neutral tint, burnt sienna light, cadmium yellow deep, cobalt blue, cobalt teal blue, imperial purple, jadeite, genuine Mayan orange, and ultramarine blue. So this has some really pretty colors that I haven't swatched for you. Maybe I will. Maybe I will do more lives. To be quite honest, I don't know how the sound is actually coming through, because the pool is there and the filter, it has like, I don't know how to say that. Let me see if I can show it to you guys. So that's the sound you're seeing, but let me see. I don't know, I moved that, and this is now, oh, yeah. But I will try to come back on a live stream. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be the, at the same time. Maybe I'll try to do another one at a different time. Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, but the live is going to be available there. Once I finish, it's going to be there for any time that you're able to see it. I thought there was going to be, I'm glad you're telling me that the sound is good, because I thought it was going to be more noisy, because I have that pool running. There's plenty of airplanes going by. although the birds are nice to listen to. So I hope the setting was not too bothersome and different because this is something that I've never done before, painting outside the home where the environment is a lot more how do you say that? My God. It's a lot more controlled. So, yeah, but I had a lot of fun. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. Claire and Maurizia, thank you for being here. I am thrilled to have met you. Thank you so very much. And I will try to work out these live sessions at different times because I think it will be fun. So now I'm going to have to say goodbye because the day, as I mentioned, is turning a little bit gray and we are expecting the thunderstorm. So I need to clean up all this mess that I have here. But thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for keeping me company. I also appreciate that a lot. Thank you for everything, really. And with that said, please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another, and I will see you on the next video. Until then, bye. How do I stop this? You too. Have a good day. Bye. I'm trying to figure out how to stop this live. Here we go, I think. Bye.